Welcome to my show. My name is Marcell Johnson, and this is a fitting experience.
Beat though, that beat is tough. I ain't gonna lie, that beat is tough.
Everybody mess with the intro beat, man. That's what's up. I'm glad you like it.
For sure.
What's going on, bro?
Chilling.
Man, so I'm excited, y'all, because I got my bro here, Tre Tipton. You feel me? We got a lot of stuff to talk about. But first, man, I want to ask you, like this post, subscribe to my page, and comment. You know what I mean? Let us know. Give us some feedback on the episode. But, man, I got to introduce my bro, right? You know what I'm saying? Tre Tipton, Pitt University.
Yeah.
If you see him, you see Pitt University.
Yeah.
He got so much stuff to tell y'all about it. You know what I mean? He's a former football player, so you probably recognize him for his athletic abilities. But also, he's now an entrepreneur,
Yes, sir.
a public speaker, an influencer, and he brings mental health awareness. We got some stuff to talk about, bro. Like, I have so many different notes, so many different things to talk about. Like, me and Tre, we both lost. I lost my dad. He lost his mom. And we just really going to tap into some real convo. So come along for the journey, man. Oh, my bro, shout out to my bro. He brought me, you know what I'm saying, the Pitt University T-shirt. He got me another one, too. Can somebody bring me the other one? He brought me 2 shirts, yo. Like, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. People come to my show all the time and bring the guests. Thank you. So, you know what I'm saying? He gave me the long sleeve, boy.
Pitt is it, baby.
Let's go.
Hellas
you know what I'm
one,
saying? He
feel
gave me
me?
this one. There's something on the back, too. But, yeah, I'm definitely going to rock my Pitt University stuff. Thank you so much. So, man, I got to tell y'all, my brother, the biggest thing when I see you, what registers to my mind is athlete. How did you become an athlete, and what would you say was, like, your inspiration?
Honestly, I became an athlete because my Aunt Charlotte was the one who was like compete at everything, right?
Ooh, okay,
So like,
okay.
we'd be 5 years old in the car, right?
Okay.
And she'll be like, I bet I'm gonna see more colors that are my color, more cars that are my color than you will.
Okay.
So as a young age, I'm competing, right? Like,
Okay.
I'm getting white cars, she got blue cars. And in my
Right.
head, I'm like, what white cars where? You feel me?
Right.
So she built that competitive edge, and then we would always watch sports. I'd write playbooks, all that, and she would just look them over and be like, this ain't gonna work. Like, she was my toughest critic before I had a critic.
This is your aunt?
This is my aunt,
Okay.
man. So
Okay.
Shout out to my Aunt Charlotte, man. But
Shout
yeah,
out, shout out, auntie.
she really instilled it in me. Then on top of that, my Uncle Richard,
Okay.
was a real blue collar guy. You know what I mean? And he wasn't ever the type to give anybody like just love, just to give love. Like,
Okay.
He was the type of guy where you had to earn his love. And one time when
Wow.
he came to my game,
Wow.
he was just like, never, again, mind you, he's never the guy to tell you like, good job. And
Right.
he was like, I seen you ball, I seen you hoop, this is your thing.
Wow.
And ever since then, bro, it just kind of took off.
So it gave him the affirmation. So many people don't realize when you tell somebody good job or you look great or you're doing good, you could change the trajectory of somebody's life by just telling them, hey, you're doing a good job. So don't keep those comments or that encouragement to yourself. Tell the kids, tell your family, man, this is really your calling. If you see something in somebody, point it out. And that takes me to my next question, where I wanted to ask you, how would you describe your childhood? Because I know we all had issues. Last season on a Freedom Experience was really about deliverance, and we covered a lot of childhood traumas.
Right.
This season, we're going to talk about a few different things, but I still want to tap into that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is definitely something that I think about on a regular.
Come on.
My childhood, man. I like to think of it as like almost a consistent black story. Like as more as I get older, like I realize a lot of the reasons why we have so much in common is because so many black children out there go through different types of traumas, but unfortunately they're the same traumas. You know what I mean? So I dealt with my parents not having a 2-parent home. You know what I mean? I dealt with suicide, homicide, you know what I mean? I've dealt with seeing my family members be shot here, there, and going further, you know what I mean? And even dealt with just because my color was one way, that was a problem in itself, you know what I mean?
Come on,
so like
racism.
For me, I had to really dig in and tap into who I was, or I wasn't gonna survive this. You know what I mean? So my childhood growing up, man, it was just was a constant battle with my mental health. You know, I realized that a lot of things were going on in my life that I didn't understand. And I lost a lot of people fast, like really fast. Started out when I was young, around 7, and then since then, it's just been rampant.
I feel like we have that in common too, our stories. And like you said, a lot of black people, and not everybody, but a lot of people have that story of mom and dad not together, our family and friends was shot and killed in front of us or around us. And we have so many traumatic experiences, and yet we still have to show up and be a productive citizen in the society we live in, or we get looked down upon. And nobody sees the trauma. Nobody acknowledges that. And that's what the Freedom Experience is here to do. We want to acknowledge the trauma, acknowledge the hardships that we faced, and then let's find a solution to it. Right. God's always been my solution. But I wanted to ask you, what keeps you motivated?
Honestly, I don't even say my only motivation, but my prime motivation is God. You know what I mean? Because if I'm going to be honest with you, like when I had no strength, right, there was nothing for me to do. There was nothing worldly that could happen that was going to change how I felt.
Wow.
You know what I mean? If it wasn't God grabbing me and saying, son, you're okay, I wouldn't be here. And that's just me being honest. I mean, there was to prove it and to kind of give you a quick example. When I was willing and ready to take my life, I was standing on the opposite side of a bridge, right?
Oh my gosh, come on.
And I'm staring into the dark water, and as I'm looking into the water, something's talking to me, but it's not me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not me. And I'm looking into the water, and I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to die. I'm okay with this. Until I slipped. And then once I slipped, I caught myself, and I realized I heard something again. It wasn't my voice, but I heard a voice say, you're not ready yet. And I stopped, and I looked back at the water, and I was like, yeah, I'm done losing to me. Got over the bridge, and that was it, man. I haven't attempted my life since then, but that let me know that, yeah, God's right here.
So suicide, we had a few guests before you, and suicide has been a common theme. So, of course, we're going to put the number at the bottom for the suicide prevention hotline. For if you're feeling suicidal and you're at the crib, just know that you are important. 100%. One day you might be on the Freedom Experience telling your testimony and encouraging somebody else. We need you to be here today. And it's so ironic you talk about that because somebody called me today, a relative. I'm on my way today to a funeral before I did this show. I had 2 shows. And somebody called me and they said, listen, my mom is standing with somebody right now who's going to jump off of a bridge in Homestead. If you're from Pittsburgh, you know the Homestead Bridge. And she said, can you pray with me? So I prayed for the man. I prayed with her. I prayed for her mom, right? And after that, I went and made a social media post about don't take your life. You have purpose. Right. And it's so funny that just today, suicide keeps coming up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been praying against that for the city of Pittsburgh and just the world. But the fact you dealt with it personally and was able to overcome it, and now you're bringing mental awareness and suicide prevention to the schools.
Right.
I think that this is so awesome, bro, and that's a part of your calling. I wanted to ask you, like, how did you start the mental health awareness nonprofit? Because he has a nonprofit that's called Love, right? His nonprofit, y'all, is called Love. You feel me? And it prevents, it brings awareness to mental health. So how did you start that process?
Well, man, after that moment that I had on the bridge, right? God had tested me to really see on where my love was, where my heart was, right? So that following year, I'm playing in a game against Miami, and my lung collapses on the field. I got hit so hard that when I pulled up to the hospital, the doctor had told me, was like, you had a better chance in a car crash.
What?
And then after that, gave me 5 minutes. After he just told me that, gave me 5 minutes, was like, you're about to die. We got to put you under.
Ayo.
And
supernatural experiences.
Supernatural, man. And then I woke up, right? I woke up, and I'm like, what just happened? Like, what? Because I was just playing, right? When they went and checked everything out, they were like, you're fine. So even after I had gotten hit, I went back out there and played.
Oh,
so
that happens.
You know what I mean? So I was like, my adrenaline's up.
When you're an athlete, you're, you know what I mean, aggressive and
you feel me? So
competitive.
Long story short, shout out to my man, Rara. He saved my life. Because without him saying, Trey, you don't look too good, go see Doc. In my head, I'm ready for the game. But he's like, Trey, you're not breathing, go see Doc. I'm like, you're lying to me. And shout out to Dr. Marcell, shout out to Dr. Mayers, man. They saved my life because everybody else thought I was fine. The doctors from Miami thought I was fine. Everybody thought I was fine.
Wow.
But Doc got something in him, and Dr. Mayers was like,
no, something's up.
Something's wrong. And they were like, the way they got me to go, because I wasn't going to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The way
We don't be liking it just, you know what I'm saying?
I
Especially
wasn't
when you in
gonna
the
go.
game, you don't want to, yeah, I feel that.
You feel me? I wasn't going to go. But to
Yeah.
make a long story short, man, they got me into the ambulance. My adrenaline's starting to come down. And now I realize something's wrong. Wow. So they put me under, do all that. They stick a tube in my chest to reinflate my lung.
Okay.
And when I woke up, the nurse was a military man. He said, you got about 15 hours to get all that blood out of your chest or you're going into a coma. And I just remember looking up at the ceiling and just be like, okay, God.
Wow.
All right. Because mind you, I was just tempering and playing with my life the year before.
And now it's like you try to take your own life, but now I might be taking your life.
Right.
How serious do you really want to end this thing?
Right.
A lot of people play with suicide, but it's like you ain't really ready to go. Don't keep playing with that demon saying I'm going to kill myself because you never know. God might say, you know what, because you keep playing, let me take your life since you're not being responsible with it. I love the fact that you do that and that you have an organization that you go back and you tell people about that experience.
Every time.
That's awesome. And I know me and Trey are going to work and do some stuff too with speaking and stuff like that. But when it comes to building your organization and the steps that you took, if somebody out there wants to start something but they feel like it's being held back, what would you tell somebody to say, just start it? Just start it.
Be fearless.
Be fearless.
You know what I mean? You're going to be judged anyway.
Ooh.
You're gonna be crucified anyway. But if Jesus was crucified, what makes you think you're not supposed to be? You know what I mean? So for me, I was happy to have that. I was happy to have the pressure. You feel me? And it's not for everybody.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what I mean? And I understand that, and that's all right. But for me and who I am, I know that God's built me to be a warrior of Christ.
Let's go.
So I'm a warrior of life in my eyes. So the only thing that's stopping me is looking at him.
Bruh. This is what I'm saying. This is why Trey's like, he's a part of my inner circle, even behind the cameras. And, you know, my name, Marcell, means young warrior. And I think that God is being strategic with setting warriors around me because we have to go and accomplish a mission.
1000%.
And you know what I mean? He causes us to conquer new territory. So I wanted to talk about something that we both have in common, which is losing our parent. Let's talk about grief, and let's talk about the losing of your mom. Take me through that process.
Man, you mind if I take you through the day?
Please do, bro.
So this is what kills me. This is me being honest here. So the day before my mom passed away, I was supposed to go up there and take her medicine, right? So like in my head at first, and I know this now is not the case, but in my head at first was because I didn't go up there on Friday that she had passed away, right?
Wow.
But through prayer and my spirituality, I realized that's not the case. But
that's right.
I'm going to take you through the story, which makes you feel like that would be the case, right?
That's
so
right.
As I'm going up the next day, very early in the morning, so I was like, I got to get my mom her medicine, right? I called her 3 times. Mind you, every time I ever call my mom, I call her once, I call her twice, she answers.
Period.
I called her 3 times, I said, yep, something's not right. As calm and as completely thought out as that, right?
Yeah.
As I'm pulling into the CVS, right, I got my dog with me, my little puppy, she's a Pitt Lab mix. Got her with me, and as I'm getting the medicine from the pharmacist, I looked to my dog and said, Mom's dead. I didn't even call my aunt yet to go over there.
You just knew.
I could feel her leave this earth. And they was like, yeah.
Yo, that's
like,
real, bro. People don't believe that, but that's really real.
I could feel her like leave. Like it was like something out of me just left, and I knew immediately what it was. I had called my aunt and was like, hey, did you go out with my mom? She was like, nah. She was like, you should be home. I said, you know what? Go down there and check up on my mom. I already knew the answer. I just didn't want to accept the answer, right?
Yeah.
She pulled up. She called me crying, like, get here now. So I'm hitting 110. I shouldn't say this, but I'm hitting 110. And I pull up, and I remember where the ambulance is. The ambulance is on the left. I called all my uncles to tell them to get to the house now.
That's right.
They're all there. They're all looking down. I know what it is, man. And as I'm running into the house, because I'm an only child, I have to sign everything. They can't take my mom's body unless I sign it. They can't do any of that. And I run in there, and I see her laying there dead, bro, and it punches me off of my feet, bro. And it wasn't even necessarily the fact that my mom was dead. It was the fact that God showed me through my mom. Like, God showed me what he looked like through my mom. Because when I looked at my mom, a man's voice looked back at me. And then... And I said a man's voice. Mind you, I said a man's voice looked back at me. And I seen a face, I heard a voice, and fell to the ground. I looked up and just went sprinting into my kitchen, man. And remember running out of the house and running up the street and falling to my knees and was like, God, just give me strength to be the man I need to be for my family. And I kid you not, Marcell, it took me an hour. I got myself together mentally straight. Let's get it.
Let's
because I got to take care of my family now.
Let's get it.
You know what I mean?
I always tell people, man, like I have an older brother. He lives in California, so we're in 2 different states right now. But when my father passed away, I had to find his body, and I had to sign the paper, and I had to do all the funeral arrangements. I had to come and do the story's deep. I'll tell you guys later, but I understand there's a different type of tenacity and there's a different type of grace that God has to give you in order to get you through that.
100%.
And when you know somebody who's been through that, there's a certain connection. There's a certain understanding. And Trey always tells me, like, bro, like, I just feel like we're connected in that way just because I don't know too many people who experience what we experience, and we just have a different understanding. Right. And it helped us become fearless.
Right.
Because when you get a blow like that, when you get hit in that way, it puts like a bossed up tenacity or just like strength or grit, should I say, about you, where now it's like, I'm ready. Like now, like I'm ready. Like, okay, you hit me like that, but now I'm ready. Now I'm back on my feet. Once God pick you back up, you back on your feet. What you want to say?
No, because you're 1,000% right. How I'm thinking about it is because you said it perfectly. Like,
yeah,
not everybody's built for that though. Why do you, like in my head? Why wasn't your older brother the one who did that? God picked you for that. And that's something that I had to ask myself. Like, I was like, why am I handling all this? Like, I'm 25 years. I'm still playing ball. I'm still in school. Like, why am I doing this by myself? And now I look back at it, I couldn't be more thankful.
It's such a blessing. It is.
To have gone through that. So it just amazed me for a second because we had spoken about it, but we haven't spoke to it on that level. And literally could just hear you talking to me. Like, it was weird. Thank you. I appreciate that for real. Thank you.
Yeah, I love my bro, man, and I think that God, once again, like I said, he's bringing me warriors to surround me because there's a battle that we're conquering, and we're going to the nations. And I just think it's incredible to see the story. Like, I took my dad's house and renovated it and made it a content, God gave it a name for it. It's a content creating worship center. I made his house into that, and I just think that God knows how to take beauty, or knows how to take ashes and give us beauty for ashes. He knows how to take graves and make it into a garden. Right. He turned graves into gardens. So in this process, bro, I want to get this question right. Forming your business from your experiences, how it was a blessing. Oh, okay, I got you. So I want to play a game with you.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, so I like to play these games, but you're an athlete.
Okay.
He plays football. What position you play?
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver. So you're a wide receiver, right?
Yes, sir.
All of a sudden, it's the end of the night. The game's about to be over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're 1 point away.
Yeah.
Right? Coach says timeout.
Yeah.
He calls you in. He shows y'all playbooks. And he says, Trey, we're passing you the ball. We need you to take this home for us. At that point, what is your thinking process?
Oh, I'm a warrior.
Hold on. You're talking to somebody who is in that position right now. Take them through your mindset. And don't act all tough.
No,
like,
be honest.
Like, keep it 100. What do you think about? Take us through that mindset.
So I'm going to give you this little quick innuendo on why I am like this. I've always liked the Roman gladiators. So, like, for me, being a gladiator was like the ultimate thing, right?
Facts.
So you're telling me it's prime time.
Prime time.
It's me or nothing, right? Every time I'm betting on me.
Okay.
Every time. So coach is coming up to me, Trey, it's you.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm probably nervous at first. It's me being honest. Everybody's going to be nervous to know that, like, okay, like, this is to win the game, right?
Heart pounding.
Pounding, right?
My heart's pounding thinking about it.
Pounding, right? But then when you see the person that's across from you, that's when it changes.
Okay.
That's where you say, don't just be too manly like and explain. No, that's when that man comes out.
Okay.
Because if in that moment, if you're not ready to conquer
that
absolute terrifying moment,
Yeah.
you'll be eaten alive. So pick.
So it's like all or nothing.
It's all or nothing.
It's fight or flight.
Because playing in this sport, football is a gladiator sport, yes, but it's one of those sports that everybody in America loves.
Yeah,
so
facts.
if you drop this ball,
right,
you're getting destroyed.
Like even from the audience, everybody,
coach, right?
Team,
Coach,
that's a lot of pressure.
All different
That's mental
angles.
health too.
Yes.
Athletes deal with a lot of mental health stuff. But okay, so you took us through the process. I want to switch it up. So I have another scenario for you. I like to play these games, right?
Okay.
So you, I'm not gonna give an ethnicity, but I'm gonna say you're a pro football player.
Okay.
Or college, and you have groupies. Now you're at a party.
Yeah.
You decided like, man, I'm not gonna drink. I'm gonna take it easy tonight.
Right.
But then you have these groupies that's trying to get on you.
Right.
But they're only trying to get on you for your fame and for your recognition.
Right.
How do you dodge her but still respect her enough to let her still feel like, you know what I'm saying, I ain't do you dirty, but I'm going to dodge you. How do you do that?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Come on, keep it a stack.
No, I'm gonna keep it a stack.
Keep it a stack. Take me through it.
I'm one of those people, man, where I try to redirect the situation. So, like, if I realize Shorty's trying to be where she doesn't need to be, I'm gonna just be like, so how are you doing today? Talking her through her day.
Come on, take us through it. Don't tell me you're in the scenario.
And having genuine conversation.
She's right there. What you saying?
Be like, how you doing today, love?
The camera.
How you doing today, love? This, that, and the fourth.
This is your camera.
This one?
Yup.
How you doing, love? This, that, and the fourth. And then she continues on to kind of making her move. I'm like, I'm sorry, love, I can't do that. Now, when girls hear that, they want to know why.
Exactly.
You know
take
what
us
I
through
mean?
it. Take her
So
through it.
I have a beautiful girl at home that I'm currently focused on, but I let them know that. And 9 times out of 10, that's still not enough.
That makes them even more attractive.
You know what I mean?
Take them through.
So that's still not enough. So then when I have to slightly do and be respectfully in the which ways that I try to be, is that I have to tell them kindly, like, I can't do this with you, love. Like, as much as I would like to, I can't. Now, my older days, have I messed up? I'm human, man. I'm human.
He's going to fall short of the glory.
I am human. But with that said, one thing I can say I've grown as a man is being able to deny something that is no longer good for me.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That just happened over recently
growth.
the last
That's
2
growth.
years. You know what I mean?
All right, so look, so you played her, but you know what's so funny, bro? Like, you used the word smooth. Like, he smoothly used love. Like, love just takes the edge off. Like, you know, somebody like, can I get a ride? It's like, unfortunately, I can't take you, love. You know what I'm saying? Can I get your number? No, you can't get my number, love. You know what I'm saying?
You
like, that love just sends it with love where you could finesse and play anybody. He's funny. This is why he's my bro. Man, all right, I wanted to play another game, but I'm going to shift something. How important, because people don't realize that you're an influencer.
Right.
God told me that I'm an influencer of influencers.
Right.
So even our dynamic, our relationship proves that.
Right.
But you being an influencer and being around so many people,
Right.
how important is your position and that responsibility in leading people?
Oh, man, it's everything, you know, because
Okay.
I'm constantly in the eyes of the people. So with that said, you don't know who's looking up to you. You don't know what kid is saying what kid is doing what kid will make a decision simply because you made that decision, right? So for me, it was my job. I always felt like it was my duty. Yo, be who you would want somebody to be for you.
Yeah.
And that was my focus, man. Even when I would go around or be around for people, like I would always think like, if I'm at the game, like what would I want as a kid? So I would go talk to the kids, throw football with the kids, because I know that's what I would have wanted.
Yeah.
And that would have took me to the next level.
So look, I love that. But I want to say, what about celebrities and stuff who do provocative things and say, I'm not raising your kids, you're raising your kids. Like, that don't got nothing to do with me. What is your stance and your perspective of that?
Me personally, and I just kind of came into this a little bit, and it's crazy you asked me that because I've been thinking on that a while. You know what I mean?
Come on, see, God be working.
So with that said, man, everybody gets this thought process that once you hit the TV, you now have a set of rules you got to follow by and guide by. You see what I'm saying? But now you're also being put in a position where everything that you do is being televised.
Come on,
I know you probably heard Charles Barkley don't put the camera on me anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's be real here. Although, you're not an influence, right? You probably still got nieces and nephews that you hold down. So now
still following you.
So you still got these people that are following you. So don't be dumb. Don't be stupid. You know what I mean? Like, even in the Kanye situation, man, I love Kanye to death. That's one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, Kanye, shout out.
But beyond what you're doing in the fame and the limelight, your daughters is looking at you, dude.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I do like to party. I do have a good time. You know what I mean? Like, I'll go out and hang out.
You like to socialize.
You socialize, right? But even with that, you got to understand who you are on your own 2 feet and who you are as a man, no matter what the circumstance.
That's right. You always, like, to me, I don't really judge people, and when I come into an atmosphere, I shift atmospheres. You feel me? So I don't go into it, and I'm not influenced by it. I influence the atmosphere. And then I leave. I don't stay too long. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's important for you to know who you are and to respect that influence. Ooh. So if God's given you a platform, or even if it's just like in your family and people look up to you, don't just feel like, I'm going to just do whatever that's not on me. Actually respect that place of authority and leadership, and God will bless you. When you are intentional with your leadership and your influence, God will bless you. So I want to ask you, being that we were talking about younger people, one of my last questions is, what would you tell your younger self? What would you tell Tre Tipton at 14 years old?
Adversity is a comma in a sentence of life, not a period.
Break that down real fast.
So for me, every time I went through something, that was the end of the world. That was it.
Okay.
I'm done. Like, I don't want to do this no more. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, I've had some traumatic experiences to kind of create that ideology behind that.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know what I mean? But beyond that, it's okay that that's there. You know what I mean? That's okay that that's put in place, because that's what's going to build you into what we already talked about, that warrior.
Yeah, come on.
You know what I mean? But I recognize that late in life. Well, not even late. Maybe some people would say early, but for who I am and how I take care of myself, I say late. And the reason why I say that is because, bro, I almost took my life.
Yeah.
Before I got to the point and realized, like, nah, this is what you needed. This is what you need to
listen, man, this is important that you go through these things, because like you said, whatever hardships you're facing, whatever you're dealing with is literally a comma.
Right.
It's literally just not even a bump in the road. It's actually like a step for you to come up higher. When you face trauma or trials, it's like a step, and God's calling you to take another step to come up higher, because he's elevating you, because he's taking you to a higher place. And you chose to take that step. Some people step down, or they stay there on that step. Don't let that be you. Tre, he decided to take this step and move forward, and he could be dead right now. But instead, he's on a freedom experience. So I just want to take this time to prophesy over your life real fast. And I just want to tell you that many sons and daughters of the nation will look up to you. You will have many kids in different nations and in different places who will call you like their spiritual dad. There's people who are going to look up to you and reach out to you. So it's intentional for you to use your platform and for you to be responsible over these kids. And one thing you said was, I want to be who I needed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like who my childhood person looked up to or what I would desire. You've becoming that, and God is going to use you in different places around the world and different nations. So make sure you're holding up and walking a way that's worthy of the calling of your life. And also make sure that you continue to seek God and be transparent. But God is going to bless you with riches. He's going to bless you with influence. He's going to bless you with sons and daughters. That's the only thing I keep hearing and seeing is different people, sons and daughters, different ethnicities, different colors, all looking up to you, all reaching out to you. And your influence is going to reach further than Pittsburgh, further than Pennsylvania. It's going to be nationally. And don't be afraid of media. Don't be afraid of media. I know that Tre's usually an in-person person, but don't be afraid of media, because God is going to do something supernatural through your life. And outside of that, thank you, Holy Spirit. I just want to say, I appreciate your life. I'm thankful that you did not take your life, bro. Thank you for not taking your life, because you were able to impart life, love, inspiration, motivation into me. And I needed that. That was written in your book of life.
Thank you.
And you fulfilled that page.
That means a lot to me. Thank you, for real.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
That's how I knew we connected, man. I knew we connected.
This is what it's about, bro. This is the freedom experience. So I'm going to end out with this. What are your words of wisdom? I always like to close the show with words of wisdom. That's like a mantra, something that you live by, something that you know what I'm saying, make sure you always tell people or tell yourself.
I'm going to stick with what I already said, man.
What?
Adversity is a comma in the sentence of life. It is not a period.
Adversity is a comma. Whatever you're facing is not over yet. It's not over. That's what he's saying. It's not over yet. Get back up. Keep moving. Whatever you're facing, get back up and keep moving. This ain't the end.
Facts.
The end of the story is happily ever after. And until you get there, it ain't over yet.
It ain't over.
It ain't over yet. Well, y'all know what mine is, man. I always tell y'all this every single episode. I say this to you because this is how I feel. This is real. This is what it is. It's time. Find freedom. It's time.
Find God, man. Got to.
Let's go. Peace out, man. We love you.
A freedom experience.